Gonna start the day with a couple of eggs before we get going on the shed project. Some toast. My favorite, a little cinnamon sugar on some toast. Alright. So, not going to be an instructional video, just kind of a video of the process, time lapse and stuff like that. Got some metal and some wood in the carport here, getting ready for it. And the old shed was over here. Used to be a 2-level shed here that we tore down. We're going to put up a new one. Need to do some landscaping too, if you can't tell. Looks pretty rough. We will get started on it here shortly. My mom and dad are going to be coming over. I think my mom anyway, my dad for sure. Hopefully we can kind of get it going pretty quickly here. The challenge is going to be being 2 levels and getting everything leveled out and square. Kind of already got it all marked out on the ground here. Some chalk line and some measurements. And the existing pad's nothing really nice, but it's what we got to work with here, so we're gonna do that. Okay, this is day 3 and didn't really get much video this morning, just trying to get some of the stuff tied down. So the uprights here that are going to be the frame the windows out here, these beams, took a auger bit up here, if you can see, and ran 1/2 inch all thread down through the top plate all the way up through the top of the beam to make sure that we got a nice good hold on here. And then I'm only doing that every other, and then just running these big 8-inch lags into the others between, like this. And sorry about the wind noise, I'm sure there's some here, it's a pretty windy day. But here's kind of what I've been doing. See if I can run one in here real quick. Just using my impact, had to use my actual impact wrench because my regular 20 volt wouldn't do it, or regular impact, so. Let's get that sticker off there. Like so. So that's kind of what it looks like so far from the inside. Okay, this is the end of day 3. Just gonna do some fascia boards tomorrow and then get ready for decking. And you can see we did all the supports for the outside fascia board here, and some other supports between, I guess I call it batting. I don't know if that's the correct terminology for it or not. And then we have all the hurricane ties on the beam all the way across. So, and then on the back also. And then just need to put some windows in it and a new door, obviously. And hopefully we can get some decking on it tomorrow and get it all covered up. So wrapping up day 4 of this build, putting the metal roofing on. I tried to get a time lapse of it, but not a really good spot to put a camera up here. So this is the copper colored metal, and just got some screws to finish putting in, and then need to do some caulking. And then the rest of the build will be the siding and the windows and the doors and some windows. Okay, so this is day 5, I believe. I'm having to frame in these triangles here on the ends, and this has proven to be difficult so far. I have to get this board cut so it can tuck back. This is the board I'm using, so it can tuck back in this corner really tight. And it's also got an angle on this end too, just a slight angle to match that beam there. And I've cut it about 4 times already, so I'm hoping this time it'll fit, but I'm not holding my breath because I think I might have to trim it one more time. So we'll see if we can get it in here now. So we got it. Looks pretty good right here. This is a real pain in the butt. I gotta get me some 4x6 Douglas fir to put in here in the middle to frame out this for the window. And then we'll be good on this side, and I'll do the other one. Okay, so this is all the ends both framed in. See, I just did, instead of, I don't have, my local hardware store doesn't have untreated 4x4s. So I just did 2 2x4s stacked together. The trim that's gonna hold the windows in will be covering this seam anyway. This will all be stained. So I'm gonna have to get some dimensions now this evening. It's starting to rain right now, so I need to pick up some tools, but I'm gonna get some dimensions on all these windows. So that's what they look like framed in from the outside. And again, that'll all be stained anyway, charcoal colored. I'll get the other side here. This is the side we just did. And that'll all have glass in it. So we will see. Sorry again, this isn't really an instructional video, just kind of me documenting the build, just trying to get it done before we get too much rain, and we'll get on with the rest of it here. Alright, got the stain on there. It's a really thick, opaque stain, and it's a dark charcoal color. It's not really actually that dark charcoal, it's just kind of like a darker gray, but it looks really dark underneath the eaves because of the shadow. And I went ahead and did inside too, just so it kind of looked uniform. Got that. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the windows now. Try to get the windows done and the door done, and then I'm probably gonna do either the soffit next or the actual siding, I'm not sure. We'll see where we go from here. So let's go ahead and do this window though. All right, that one is done. Going to do the next one. Probably won't video that just because it's pretty straightforward. So we will get on with whatever's next after this. So the reason you saw me stringline every one of those is this this pad that we were working off of wasn't completely level, so we had to do something on each end. So I had to match. I wanted the seams to all be the same on both sides, so I had to stringline across each side of the way up. It turned out pretty good. There's about a I don't know, ½ inch difference on the top, side to side, so it's not too bad off level, but enough where I wanted to make sure we did the right thing here with the string line. So I'll kind of show you the rest of it here. I did the other two sides the other day. It was kind of rainy and wet, so I didn't really record. And had one of my, I think I already said this, but had one of my friends give me some flashing. He made me some flashing here to put it on the bottom of the shed where that steps down, so it would hide that edge that I couldn't cover with the siding. It actually looks pretty good. I'll kind of show you the other side over here. So here's the side, and then here's the back. I need to do some cleaning up back here still. You see those seams all look really good. Now I had some glass cut and I just need to put that in still. So that's gonna be the final step. Well, actually I'm gonna do the soffit next, I think. So I bought the materials today for that, and I was trying to buy as much as I could with all the coronavirus stuff going on. They're kind of shutting stuff down, so I wanted to get everything I could just in case I'm stuck here working on it. And then I had the door put in the other day also. It was kind of the same day when it was kind of wet and rainy. I didn't get video of that, but nothing too exciting there. So we'll go on to the soffit next. So I didn't get video of this because it took all day and I didn't have time to move the camera around, but this is the frames for the windows where the glass is going to be up against the back. And it's just PVC, and I left it a little bit loose in some spots so it could expand a little bit. And I'm going to sandwich that glass in there between that. You can see, have all the frames in. Sorry about the unsteady video. You can see here, it's in like this. So the glass will go right up against the back of this, and I'll sandwich it between another frame. And then I'll caulk around all this because you can still see there's a little bit of, you know, there's some daylight in some spots, just a little bit. But that's what caulking's for, right? So I'll try to get some video of the glass going in. Okay, so here's what I'm doing with my glass. So I have the frames already up, the first halves, and then I'm using this, let's see, I can't remember what it's called. It's kind of like caulking in a roll. Yeah, caulk, cord seal, weather seal. And this stuff is kind of tacky, not real sticky. But I'm gonna use this between the frames so when I squeeze them together, it's not putting the window in a bind and breaking the glass. And that'll kind of help hold it in place too. Keeps the glass from moving around too much, and leaves just about 1/8 of an inch gap that's nice and soft around it to hold it when I squeeze it together. And I've already got one in up there. I was just kind of see how it would go. It looks really good. And I'll try to get a little video here of me putting one in so you can kind of see how I'm doing it. All right, you can see I got my PVC frame up there ready. So I'm just gonna stick this up against it. Like so. You can see, so this stuff just kind of seals up against that edge all the way around. And I'm still gonna put some clear silicone along these edges on the outside just so water doesn't get down in between and freeze. I mean, it shouldn't get inside because of this seal. But just to be safe, I want to make sure I caulk everything. Okay, and then what I've been doing is just making an interior frame pieces basically out of, I had some leftover PVC and then I got some pre-primed white pine. And I'm just basically using trim head screws to hold this all in. And that's just these, they got a real small head on them so they're not real big, they don't show up real bad. Just a little #1 square drive. And I'm just kind of drilling my holes in my frame at a little bit of an angle so that it sucks it up tight against the window whenever we're doing that. I'll do that now. You see, kind of like so. Sorry if this isn't showing up real great. I'm trying my best to get a good camera angle here. It's kind of hard up here high in the shed. You can see they're all kind of at an angle. And I'm just gonna run them in with the impact. And I've kind of been pushing the glass up just a fuzz whenever I put this in there just so it's not touching the top or the bottom really. And I have about 1/8 of an inch gap on each side. Okay. Trying to be real careful that I don't slip off a screw and break the glass. I'm sure I'll probably do it. Seems like that's my luck anyway. So you can see it kind of squishes that stuff up in there. Just so it's not squeezing it completely tight, but there's a little bit of a gap there that's soft between the two pieces. So it's not, you know, hopefully it won't crack the glass. And this is just the cheap way to do it. I know it's probably not the best way, but it seems to be working so far. Of course, we'll see in the long run. But I wanted to leave it like this too with the screws on each side so I could pop these off real easily and replace glass if they got broken. I was a little worried if it got broken, if I put silicone in here, I was really worried I'd have to really fight to get all this glass off the edges if it did get broken. So I just wanted to do, this is supposed to be just kind of a tacky, not super permanent adhesive on this caulking strip stuff. So hopefully it's not too bad. I'm sure if it gets hot a lot, it'll probably get even more sticky, but it looked like it was easier to get off than regular caulking. Okay, so this is it all finished up. I didn't video the last bit of me just doing all the caulking and all the finished stuff. And it's done except for me running electricity to it, which I'm gonna do in the next coming weeks when I have time. Just kind of show you a little tour here. Ended up putting an electronic keypad on the front so we didn't have to worry about having a padlock or something that we have a key for. And it just kind of looks clean. I still got a lot of landscaping to do. If you can't tell, I'm behind on that here. You can see all the vinyl soffit. And then you can see the windows. I think I got an up closer view of those, but I'll kind of take you inside here. So you can see the existing, concrete that was here. Not real pretty, but it's just done now, so I need to get all my stuff in here and get some shelves built and some places to store stuff. But you can see there's lots of light coming in here, which is awesome. Got a lot of fingerprints on the windows when I was putting them in. I got to clean those off. And then planning on maybe getting some furnace filter material and tucking it up here where the soffit is, just because that soffit is vented and I know some dust can come in there, and I want to keep this stuff in here as clean as possible and not have to do any, cleaning of the stuff too often because a lot of bikes and other things in here. See, you just got some junk here still I need to clean up. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope the video was fun to watch, or interesting at least. And again, I know it wasn't an instructional video, but just wanted to kind of document this. And I hope you guys think it's as cool as I do. I had a lot of fun building it. It was definitely a process. Towards the end, I was kind of getting ready to be done. Just the windows took a while, but they turned out great. I'm really glad I did those. That was probably the most challenging part of the build, was just building this upper area here with the, with the beams. They were kind of heavy and they were hard to work with. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and thanks for stopping by. And if you haven't and you'd like to, go ahead and subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Thanks.